first letter of the Greek alphabet and the last letter of the Greek alphabet. They have 22 letters in their alphabet. Alpha is the beginning, omega is the ending. It's not just some Greek letter that they put on college buildings so you won't know what they're saying. Secondly, he says, the beginning and the ending. In the beginning, God. In the ending, God. Everything in between is going to be history someday. And so, he was there at the start of time. That's where the beginning. And he'll be there at the end of time. Think about it. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the clock began to tick. Before that, there was no clock. There was no time. And it's ticked down now for over 7,000 years or so. And it's ticking down, and then it's going to stop. I believe the earth is about 7,000 years old, maybe a little bit one way or the other. I do not believe the earth is millions of years old. I believe it has been created with the appearance of age. There's a scripture verse that leans toward that thought. Because God said, watch this, let them figure this one out. And they can't. Millions and millions of years ago. I love some of the National Geographic programs. I love watching some of their presentations. But I always have to get out of my mind when they come on with millions and millions of years ago. 7,000. God created the earth. There it is. So that doesn't make sense scientifically. Makes sense God-typically. That's a new word. And then he says, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning, the ending, the start and the end, which is present needs, which was past history, and which is to come, the future. And then he says this, just in case you missed it, the Almighty. The word there means he who holds sway over all things. God controls everything in and around us. He is in control of it all. Now, I don't mean by that, well, let's just go sit down and wait for nothing to happen. No, we need politicians who will stand up for truth in politics. We need preachers who will stand up for truth in churches. We need businessmen who will stand up for truth in business. We need to live out our life of Christianity in our life, in our lives. But truthfully, God does have it all under control, but he uses people. Does he not? God used people. God used John the Revelator, we call him, to write this book. And he used other believers. He used Paul to write 13 of the New Testament epistles. And he used Peter, and he used other Jude to write that little short book of Jude to give us information. God uses people in his work. Have you ever thought about it that you wouldn't be here today in church, and I wouldn't be either, if 2 or 3 generations ago someone hadn't reached someone else with the gospel? They changed the future. Now, I doubt at that time they realized, whoever that preacher was 2 generations ago realized, I'm going to change the world. But he reached someone who then reached you. And now, what's our job? To reach others so that we can make a difference in the future. And we're living, don't get wrapped up with the news of the day and all the, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't either, but I know who does know. So why should I worry? Why should I fret? Because if God doesn't have it all under control, then we're in a mess. But he does. And I trust that he does. I believe that he does. And I rest in the fact that he does. Now, he's still got a job for me to do. Whether we have whoever president is, whoever the vice president is, whoever the secretary of state, whoever everybody else is all down the line. Whoever the mayor of Wiggum is, okay? That's George Trulock, right? Okay, George Trulock. No matter who's in charge, God has a plan for you and I. Our goal is to find that plan and go with it. And say, I want to be the witness that I can be here. We'll stop there this morning, and we'll pick up there next week. Again, I challenge